What up, fam? Welcome to the new podcast. This is BE Entertainment 2020. We doing our thing for you out there. I know it's a little rough look, but it's just the start. I got bigger and better things coming on. I hope I'm coming in clear. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's get down to it. Today's topic, as I said before, coronavirus. Now, where we at with this coronavirus thing? Where are we at? Where are we at? If you've been riding with me since 1983, you'll know I've been talking about this topic for a very long time. Universal precautions. I made this thing up a long time ago. Like I said, 1983. If you ask any of my family members, they'll tell you I was one of them strange birds talking about not eating meat and you got to treat everything as if it's infected. And they were saying I was crazy. It was all right for the time being. But now let's get down to the facts of it, okay? This coronavirus thing, it came on the scene. A lot of people think it came on the scene in January. It was not on the scene in January. This coronavirus thing was in the air as late as last July. Now, I know a lot of you out there are not going to be thinking, but I want you to think back to last summer in July. A lot of people was coming down with this flu-like symptom thing, and they was getting sick and dying, and people couldn't understand it. Some people were saying it was due to respiratory this, it was due to respiratory that. A lot of people saw, like in the summertime, like a lot of people was dying from these like respiratory failure things, and people didn't understand it. And the reason why I'm speaking on the subject right now, as I said, if you're just tuning in, welcome to my new podcast. It's going to be some dope stuff going on here. I know you're seeing the screen. You think it's kind of cruel, but it's going to be pictures, information, video, everything. Black Eagle Entertainment, we encompass everything. Okay, we are the streets, okay? And what you're going to be getting from me is hard-hitting facts with a lot of information. Believe me, beloved, you're going to love this stuff, all right? And by the way, it will be up on YouTube and a whole bunch of other platforms too, because what's going on Facebook, if you don't know, they're censoring a lot of information on Facebook. They're censoring it. If you put stuff up on Facebook and it's too controversial for them, they'll let you post it. But when you share it on your page, it'll go back into your own page and you'll think it's being posted. And you'll share it again. And then they'll send you a thing saying the information that you put on Facebook at this time, they'll send you a message letting you know why they didn't post it for you. So a lot of people are moving to different formats like myself, podcasting, doing what we call guerrilla journalism. This is what you call guerrilla journalism. If you can't get your voice on the mainstream, you make it happen for yourself, okay? That's what this is all about, doing it for self. Now, let me say this for a lot of people out there who think I'm trying to be established and get some fame and all this. I'm established already, okay? BEJC 145 at Music Maker Jams. I have over 145 mixes that's across Europe, different fans, 500 and some odd fans on there. At one point in time, I had 5,000 people on Facebook, but Facebook did some nonsense, and they knocked off about 4,000 of my followers on my page. So a lot of people out there, if you're on my page and you're still on my page, that's because whatever Facebook did, they transferred over to about like 1,000 people that was in my thing. But the other people, they're telling me to add people on as friends. So if I go back through all 5,000 people and do a request of all these people, they'll be like, who is this person? You know, they'll be like, I don't even remember this person. So I just left it at that. So if you're on my Facebook page, you're good to go, okay? Now let me say this for all those who want to be offended on my podcast. You're going to be offended by a lot of things I say because this is the truth. And this was put together, Black Eagle Entertainment was put together for the truth, okay? A lot of people don't understand why did I name it Black Eagle Entertainment. I went into that discussion, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to put one of the first videos I ever did for Black Eagle Entertainment up on the thing. And you're going to love it when it goes into the video and show you the name, and then they're going to go through the different formulations of the name and all that some cool stuff. I want you to see how I did that. I made that value back in 1990 something, but that's neither here nor there. But let's get back into this thing. So last summer, people were getting sick, right? And I noticed it, and I was like, yo, you know that these people walk around here sick with like this flu thing, and then all of a sudden it turned into this respiratory thing, and then the next thing you know, they're in the hospital and all this. People told me I was crazy, right? It's like, yo, You know, people get the flu in the summertime too, and all this and all that. And I was telling them, yeah, people get the flu, but not like that, okay? But so we roll on. So as time went on, like I said, this was last July. And if you don't believe me, check your information. You have Google. Google back to spring break 1990, whatever, okay? And you're going to look at all these people together on beaches and all. It's going to look so strange to you now. You're going to see all these people in close contact. It's going to look so strange to you now, knowing what you know now, okay? You didn't know all that before, all right? Think about all the places you went out to eat and you thought these people were being so clean and they had an A on the window and they was all hygienic and all this. Now you see. Now you see. Everything what you thought, what I call kabuki theater. Everything that you thought you was seeing ain't what it was. It ain't what it was. You was caught up in the illusion of inclusion, okay? Now when you look back to all the stuff you was doing before, you say to yourself, man, I must have been crazy. Yeah, it was some next level stuff you was doing because you didn't know that this thing was lying dormant in thousands and thousands of people. See, thousands and thousands of people was getting it beforehand, but they didn't know what it was, okay? And the few who did know what it was and got ahead of the curve, they started capitalizing off of it. Are you hearing me out there? And if you're still joining up and listening right now, you're at Black Evil Entertainment Podcast. As I said, I'm BEJC. Everybody know me as JC. I'm your host. I know it's a little look that you're looking at right now, but I want you to see the logo so you be a little familiar with it. As we go on, the logo and all the information will change up. And you're going to like a lot of stuff that you see. I'm just doing it this way so you can hear my voice and see what the logo look like at a crude point of it. So as you go on and you start seeing it, you're going to be like, oh, he think he getting up there and trying to do some next level stuff. No, I'm going to say it like I said. I'm just starting it off right now so you can be aboard and be rolling with me and see. I want you to check out some of the stuff I'm saying. I want you to check out some of the stuff that I'm showing you. It's going to be real good stuff. But let's get back to the topic at hand. So, we fast forward and then we see people that they started letting the public know what was going on. They started telling people, listen, they introduced it as superbugs. So if a lot of you people are in the health profession and all that, you remember they started saying, listen, these hospitals and these places where you get medical service, they're having these superbugs. And what they meant by superbugs is they was getting these different strains of viruses and bacterias and all this stuff. And no matter how much bleach, ammonia, sanitizer and stuff that they would put on this stuff, okay, it would adapt and then it would turn into something else, okay? That's why I want you to pay close attention to what I'm explaining to you on my podcast here, okay? So when they say COVID-19, they say this corona thing 19, okay, you got to understand that this thing went through 19 successions of them throwing all kind of antibiotics, okay? Putting this thing on surfaces, seeing how long it lasts on surface. They went through a whole host of these things. So when they say COVID-19, that means they went through 19 rounds of throwing everything at this thing, and it kept mutating to something else. So technically, if we wanted to get into it and they say COVID-19, it would be COVID 1 million, because this thing done mutated so many times. The thing is not trying to basically do anything but get into your immune system, okay? Spread its envelope and then mutate into something and then move on to the next person. That's what this thing was about from last summer. So now you think of how many people right now that got this thing lying dormant in them, okay? And let me explain to you one thing, okay? A lot of people say, well, you talking, what kind of medical background do you have to substantiate what you're saying? Let me say this to you out there. Medical background, my foot, I'm talking common sense, beloved. Common sense, okay? When you reach kindergarten, as I said in my video, when you go to kindergarten, the first thing they teach you to do is how to use the bathroom and wipe your hands and wash your hands and do stuff properly. They teach you that in grade school. They teach you that in grade school because they know when they give you the little snacks and all that, if your hands are dirty and all that, you putting that in your mouth and you're bringing home sickness. They knew that back then. Think about when you was in grade school. They taught you all that. Think about when you was younger and you was brought up how to use the bathroom. All that's why they taught you that hygiene. So as you get older, you would know how to keep yourself at a hygienic level where you wouldn't be affected or infect people. But as time went on, people stopped using common sense. Okay, they got with the new age. You know what I mean? They got with the new age. It used to be the time when people used to take baths, you know, go home, take a bath and all that. We got into the shower age. And people used to jump in the shower, wash it up right quick, boom, and then go on to the next thing. See, they didn't know that the skin alone, your outer skin, carry 2,000 germs alone. We ain't all talking about the millions and millions of bacteria and all that that's on your skin. Your skin is like the most germiest place you can get in. And the most nastiest place on your body is your mouth. Is your mouth. It's your mouth. You got so many things going on in your mouth, you can't even begin to fathom it, beloved. So let's get down to the facts. So these people knew that this thing was spreading, and they didn't want to give on to what was going on with the public at large. They had a high volume of people that was coming in sick. These people just didn't start coming in sick, beloved. They had a high volume of people coming in sick before the New Year's hit. That's how these people know all this stuff was going to be coming along down the road, okay? And a lot of these pharmaceutical companies, they knew that these people were over there trying to capitalize on this flu and all this old nonsense. Because as I said to you, remember what I just said earlier, they knew this from last summer that these people were getting sick. So those people over there in Wuhan, China, where this thing originated from, they was over there experimenting on this thing so they can get ahead of the market. As I told you, I do overnight forecasting for markets and stuff like that. I'm not doing it to get wealthy or rich. A lot of people say, well, if you know so much about forecasting and marketing and investing and all this, why aren't you wealthy? I am wealthy with a wealth of knowledge. With a wealth of knowledge, you see? When you have a wealth of knowledge, you're able to get into certain thing and network with people. You're not passing on a lot of stuff. You just pass on the basic stuff, and if people follow that, they can get on a road to where they get some wealth or whatever it is they're trying to search for out here. I'm not looking for big houses, big cars, a lot of jewelry. Women want to be seen everywhere. I'm just a simple dude, man. I just like doing my thing and living to tell about a lot of stuff that I've been through in life, okay? And a lot of people that I meet, they're good people. I meet a lot of good people. I conversate with a lot of good people, beloved. But you know what? They into what's called the paper chase. They love the paper chase out there, you see? People love chasing them dollars, okay? They love chasing them dollars, you know? And some people, you just got to move out their way and let them have at it, you know? Because the streets will make you a believer. The streets will make you a believer. It's an animal. And for those out there who don't get it and get caught up in their own muster or whatever it is, why do you think they call it a system? Huh? Why do you think they call it a system? If you know anything about systems, systems are made up of components of different things that make the system work, okay? That's why they set the components in place, because when you put all these components together and connect it together, it makes the system work, okay? So if you're a person out there thinking you're going to beat the system, I'm sorry. You'll be just like the rest of them that I've known all my life, good people who work hard all their life, okay? 25 years, 35 years, 40 years, they work, okay? And the things that they have to show for it, they're good things that they have to show for it, but it's not generational wealth. It's not generational wealth. And if you need a starting point, or you need a point to think about where you at right now, somebody once gave me some advice, and I want you to take it too, okay? Numbers don't lie. People do, okay? And if you're hearing this podcast for the first time, I'm BEJC. This is BE Entertainment 2020 edition, and we're getting into some topics of the day that I think people want to hear me talk about, because I have a voice that's a voice of reason and common sense. And I've been doing this for a long time. I just don't talk about it. I walk about it. I be about it. All 5 boroughs. I lived in 10 years or more. Okay? I know people that I know, they'll tell you we can talk about anything. Okay? I'm not a person that have thin skin. Okay? You can talk about family, friends, everything around me, and I'm going to give you an educated or common sense response to it. You understand what I'm saying? And let me say this to a lot of people out there that listen to the podcast, right? It's just as simple. If you hear me reporting on stuff and saying stuff, let me say this, beloved. 9 times out of 10, I get it directly from the source, okay? I don't deal in he say, she say, okay? If I want to know something about you, I'm going to come directly and ask you. I'm not going to go ask nobody about you. I'm going to ask you directly, all right? And whatever you tell me, I know I got it directly from that source. That's the way you keep a lot of monotony down. You understand what I'm saying? Too much he say, she say, trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? As I said in my previous talks on these subjects, health is the new wealth in the 2020. You want to be rich? Show me how healthy you are, okay? A person that's in good health, man, you're going to be far wealthier than the average person who's not in good health. I don't care if they work 20 years, okay? They can work 20 years, have all the money in the world. If they're not in good health, it's not going to do them no good because they're going to spend the money back trying to stay healthy. But if you're a healthy person and you're gaining wealth, you're ahead of the game, okay? You're ahead of the game, okay? Your life should be going smoother, not downhill, okay? When this arose, if you was paying attention, okay, you'd have known exactly what to do, okay? Because you'd have been like me. You'd have seen people getting sicker. You'd have seen people trying to pay their way out, pray their way out, or play their way out. And then it got to the point where they couldn't do either three no more. And then it came to this point that we have right here. So a lot of people now have to self-quarantine, stay in place, this, that, and the third, and they have a lot of idle time on their hand, such as me. You see, I have idle time on my hand to do projects and things that I've been doing all along, okay? You wouldn't know what channel that I do indicators and forecasting on, because you probably would have thought it was a Caucasian guy. You wouldn't know that the different platform that I put music and stuff on, because you probably think it's some guy out there trying to be a DJ or get rich off of nonsense. It's none of that, beloved. It's just stuff to keep you occupied, stuff to keep you in positive mode, okay? Stuff that you know that is good for the environment and good for you, but other people are not going to agree with it. You know, I got a lot of people in my network circle that don't agree with a lot of stuff that I do. But then when it works, they be like, wow, man, that's dope. And I'd be like, yeah, well, it's a little something, something. You know, not to pat myself on my back or to belittle anybody else, but it just comes a point in time when you got to know in life, how much money do you need? How many people do you need around you to boost you up to put a battery on your back, huh? How much accolades do you need from people outside or wherever you're trying to do your thing at before you catch on to understand this, okay? And here's where it takes that drastic turn that these people don't care, beloved. Capitalism is not about anything else but capitalism. That's all it's about. It's all it's about. That's all capitalism is about. Okay? And if you get caught up in capitalism, you got to understand one thing about capitalism. You see the words up there that say BE entertainment. Ask yourself, what is entertainment? Do you know what entertainment is? I'll tell you what entertainment is. Entertainment is something that you'll spend all your discretionary funds on. People love to be entertained. Why do you think you see majority of people walking around looking at their handheld screens all day and checking because they want to be entertained, okay? And they will spend their discretionary funds to be entertained. That's a fact. That's a fact, okay? And so you don't think that you're just looking at a screen and me talking, see, it's live, that's me. You see my hand flashing, that's live, it's me, okay? You see my face, that's live, it's me, okay? But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So when people have a lot of discretionary funds to spend, they spend it on foolish things, okay? Let me give you an indicator and forecasting tip that you'll understand. I'll put the indicators up on that. Do you know majority of the places that all these people buy all this farming stuff from cars to jewelry to all this stuff, majority of these companies and majority of these countries where all this stuff hail from, these people are in deep debt. That's why they keep pushing this stuff, because they're in debt. They're in a lot of debt, okay? Unbeknownst to a lot of people, the economy crashed and people didn't realize it crashed. They thought it was all due to whatever. No, it had been crashed. All they've been doing is propping the economy up by lowering interest rates. But that's another story for another time that we'll get into, okay? That's for the people who want to be into markets and forecasting and think they're going to get the big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I'm telling you this one more time. You're going to get the big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But you're going to wind up like Steve Jobs. You remember Steve Jobs? He's the founder of Apple. one of the richest persons on the planet. He's no longer here. Had more money than anybody, like I said this a million times, had more money than anybody can imagine, but couldn't buy one more day. All the money in the world couldn't buy one more day of life, okay? And by the way, all he needed was a kidney, I believe. Couldn't even he couldn't even make a 3D printer to print him out a kidney or whatever it was to save his life. All the money in the world. So that should be a clear indicator to you about searching and looking and finding and trying to keep up with the Joneses and doing all this, because you'll wind up with all the money in the world. But I guarantee it's going to be a place where you didn't want to be with all this money. You're going to be sitting there with all this money and you don't want to be in that place. You don't want to be in that place. But some people say they do, but then they don't understand when they get there. To he who is given much, there is much responsibility that's going to be asked of you. And it's going to be stuff that you do not want to do, beloved. Trust me on this one. Trust me. So back to the conversation at hand. So you had a lot of people who knew about certain situations and they capitalized on it because they was capitalists. That's what they do, okay? Don't you understand that when you turn on the TV and you're looking at the news, okay, you're looking at Corporation America. They're not telling you nothing for your good. They're telling you what Corporation America wants you to know. See, Corporation America need consumers. Welcome to the podcast. We need consumers. We don't need people who produce. See, because if you're a producer, you're too busy producing to be a consumer. See? Who you think work? Producers or consumers? Consumers work because they too busy consuming, so they have to keep buying and consuming. Producers, they just keep producing for consumers so they can buy and work. You see what I'm saying? Numbers don't lie. People do. So when you turn on the media and you see all these people talking all this nonsense, you got to understand that's capitalist America talking to you. They're not talking to you to inform you on anything. They're telling you what the program is. This is the program. This is what you should keep on your mind. This is what you should be talking about. This is what everybody's going to be going along with. And you should go along to get along too if you know what's good for you. You understand that? So as we get into different topics, I don't want you to think I'm a person that know it all and be about it all. As I've said, this ain't that calling thing, beloved. These are observations and opinions, and like they say, they just like assholes. Everybody has one. You know that. But the point about the opinion is over time, let's see what that opinion holds up to. Because we can have all the opinions in the world, okay? We can have all the different views in the world. But the facts is going to stay consistent on everything. So let's get down to that subject. So when corporate media turns on and you're looking at the TV and you're hearing Trump and these different people talking, they speaking for corporate America, whether you understand that or not. They're not speaking for you or to you. They're speaking for corporate America. They're letting you know what the deal is. This is what the deal is. This is what the deal is. And you got to either abide by that or kick rocks. And if you don't kick rocks, it's like we say in the other slide. It's either you roll with it or you get rolled over. It's on you. Okay? Because they got too many go along to get along blacks out here that will do their bidding. Okay? Let a black officer pull you over and see what happens. Let a black detective pull you over and see what happens. Stand in front of a black judge in this court system and think you're going to get some play because it's a black judge and see what happens out here. Okay? These are real conversations we got to have. I walk through different communities every day. I put up videos about different communities I walk in because I live in these communities. I still have people who frequent these communities. And I can walk through any community that I grew up in. Right now, I don't have to be like most people, jumping in and out of cars, driving around, all this old nonsense. I can walk through any community, see people that I had beef with, didn't have beef with, or whatever, and keep it moving. Okay? If you want to be my, like I said in a previous thing too, if you want to be my enemy, you make yourself my enemy. I don't have enemies, okay? That's why I can talk the facts and the truth, because I don't have enemies. You make yourself my enemy. You can listen to my opinion and say, that's your opinion. Doesn't make no difference in me. And you're right, because it doesn't make the food go down your throat any faster, and it doesn't make the shit come out your ass any quicker. Trust me. Everybody has one. That's what opinions is. That's what information is. But where it's going to be called upon you is when you have to back up what you're saying with some facts or debate somebody on some issue that you made and they want to disagree with you. See, you got to know to have that enough wherewithal to hold your argument to the point where you can agree to disagree and they respect that y'all can agree to disagree. So, as I said, whether you agree or disagree, welcome to the podcast. As I said, it's going to be some stuff going on. I'm pretty sure you're going to dig it, man. You're going to really dig it, right? As I said, not look for fame, notoriety, none of that. Just want you to come by, check out some of the information, okay? And how they say immortality is the information that you give, and then after you are no longer here, that information that you disperse, whether people act on it or not, it's up to them. You're no longer here, so the information and whatever you disperse should travel on and give people enlightenment and enlighten eons and generations of eons and eons of generations of more eons of generations. So that's how that go with information and knowledge. So as I said, you see the new look. It's not a new look, it's an old new look, and I'm going to add on some things that I know you're going to like and show you some stuff that I know you're going to like. So as I said, BE Entertainment 2020, welcome to the presentation, podcast, and everything. I'm out.